Hey, this is Rob Kittle at Kittle Real Estate, and so thanks for watching. I get all these questions all the time. Do I really need to stage my home? I mean, I know the market is so hot right now. It's not really going to make a difference. I mean, everything gets multiple offers, everything's going to sell so quickly. But that's not really the case. I mean, my job is to get you top dollar, shortest amount of time, and the least amount of hassle. Since there's only three things that you've got control over when selling a home, one being, the realtor that you choose to hire, basically the game plan moving forward, the amount of marketing that they're going to do. You also have control over the condition of your home, and you have control over the price of the home. We can't change the floor plan, the location, all of these other things are already set. So again, focus on who I choose to market the home, the condition of the home, and the price of the home. The marketing and the condition is going to help you to get the top price. So because condition is such an important factor, we do provide a 1-hour consultation with Pam. So if you want to meet with her for an hour, I highly recommend staging. I always say that 70% of negotiations happens before you ever put the home in the market. Well, Rob, of course I would fix the hole in the wall if they would have asked for it. Of course I would remove the wallpaper if they asked for it. Well, guess what? They're not going to ask for it. What they see is what they get. So they have to come in and fall in love. So that's what Pam does. She is the fall in love queen of the universe to have people come into your home and fall in love with it, and also have the best pictures. So getting the condition to be a 10 out of 10, which is what Pam is there to do, and then we pay for a professional photographer to come in and capture that perfection. So, Pam, what do you do to make people fall in love?
Well, people do need to understand that staging is important, even in a hot market, because you want the buyers to feel that they can live there. And a lot of times you become blind when you've been living in a space for a while as to what it really looks like. So I like to come in with a fresh set of eyes and really help people understand what needs to be decluttered, what needs to be cleaned, what needs to be depersonalized, which is a big one, because people need to be able to visualize themselves in the space, and not the people who are currently there. A lot of the philosophies in interior design, which is my primary business, do apply to staging, but where the two are vastly different is that interior design is intensely personal. It's really sharing a person's soul in their space, whereas staging is depersonalizing.
Wow.
It's being very neutral so that many people can walk in and imagine that they could live there.
Yeah, I always say that. We want 100% of the people to walk in the door and fall in love. Now, we're not going to do that. We're going to lose a couple people, but if we could kind of make it more vanilla and more of a blank canvas for everyone who walks in the door. So if we could eliminate objections, again, 70% negotiations happens before we ever put the home in the market, which means if we could eliminate objections before the buyer even has an objection, then we're going to have more people fall in love with it, more people wanting to make an offer on it, more people getting into a bidding war over your property. Yes, do we need to have it be a 10 out of 10 in a hot market in a low cost property? No, we're going to be able to sell your property, but just being able to sell it isn't the goal. Getting you top dollar for your property and having it staged, having 100% of the people fall in love with it, that's the goal, right?
Absolutely. And one of the big myths about staging is that it's very expensive, and it doesn't have to be. People think, oh, I have to go out and I have to buy brand new furniture, I have to buy new accessories. Not the case. Sometimes, yes, a can of paint is required if there's a very loud color happening in a home, but you can use your own pieces. It's just about paring it down and neutralizing.
That's right. Yeah. The more we could do, the hard work is, in the olden days before this happened, is that we get a home under contract and then they'd be panicked trying to get to pack everything and do all the work to be able before closing. What I'm telling people now is that the more you do today, that basically the hard work starts from the time that we meet until we actually put your home on the market. Once you put your home on the market, hopefully all that work has been done, all the boxes have already been packed, all that decluttering has already been done. So when I call you and say, hey, I got a full price offer in your home, guess what? All the work has already been done, and you don't start stressing out, and because you've done all the heavy lifting. So usually, in today's market, and it behooves you to do the heavy lifting now before we actually take the photos, before we put it on the market, because we know that it is a busy market and it is going to sell quickly. So let's go ahead and start packing up, filling those boxes, I tell people, you know, my little trick for staging is to look around, and if you see something, you ask, does this enhance the photo or clutter the photo? Then you go to the next item. Does this enhance the photo or clutter the photo? Is this something I'm going to need in the next 60 days? If the answer is no, then I'm not going to need this in the next 60 days. Most likely it should go in a box. It's just cluttering the photos, it's personal stuff, and go ahead and box it up and put it out of sight. So.
Absolutely. When I meet with your clients, I'm going into their home with 5 things in mind. One is start packing early. You don't need all of your furniture in the space.
Right.
And it's paring it down to where the rooms are defined and it's easy to tell what you would use the space for or could use the space for. But the extra should be packed up.
That's right.
I usually recommend get a storage unit, and like you said, if it's not something that you're going to be using in the next several days, weeks, pack it up. And that goes for closets as well. The closets need to be cleared out. I like to have their clothes organized, say by color, and really thinned out.
Right.
Because we put a lot in our closets, and people don't think that's necessarily important because it's not always photographed. But when people look, it helps them to realize there is enough space in this home for me to live.
Right.
Whereas if it's cluttered, they may not think there's enough storage.
Yeah.
One of the other things that I go in looking at is how clean is it? Cleaning the fridge, keeping the floors clean, cleaning the baseboards, clean, clean, clean.
Yeah,
And
you're gonna have to clean before closing date anyway, so
Absolutely.
might as well clean before we take the pictures.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then another thing that's important is that you know, this is not my way or the highway, right? This is not what we require that every client do. It's just that what we found is that 99% of the people want this kind of advice, might need this kind of advice, might not have the the eyes to be able to see what someone else would see, what a buyer would see, and what might be an objection. So it's not mandatory. We're not, we can still work with you if you want to sell your property as is, and you don't want to lift a finger and you want to have it, be the way it is. We're not force feeding you this way, but we definitely have noticed and seen over the years that this helps homes sell for more money in a short amount of time. And yes, there's some hassle to it, but it's gonna put money in your bank. So.
Absolutely. There can be a little bit of heavy lifting
Yeah,
in the beginning, but it tends to be well worth
You're
it.
gonna have to do the heavy lifting eventually. That's what I tell you. It's like you're gonna have to clean. You're gonna have to pack. And here's the secret. Everything in this home is gonna have to go eventually. So you might as well start packing it up now. And therefore, like I said, when I call and say, "Hey, congratulations, full price offer," you're not in panic mode. You've already done the heavy lifting. So, so hopefully that helps. If there's anything that you want to discuss or have a in-house consultation with me, that'd be great. Then we could get things rolling, and then you'll be able to work with Pam. Again, all you need to do is call Pam and say, "Hi, we've hired Rob Kittle to sell my home," and then she sends me the bill. How great is that? So thanks for your time for watching, and feel free to reach out to us if you have any questions.
Look forward to meeting you.